All right, we are live. Finally. What's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being here. DadaLorian coming at you guys with the early day stream. I have not posted any TikToks yet, surprisingly. I woke up this morning and I woke up really late. So today, I thought for today's stream, it would be really fun. I'm just going to be working on some stuff and have you guys just hang out for a little bit. Me and Grogu are just chilling. So what's up, guys? See my boy Michael. What's up, man? Mr. Drawings. What's up, DadaLorian? Yo, get to see my peoples in the house. Yeah, today I'm gonna be just working on some of my TikTok video ideas, which is really fun. And I'm looking at, every platform that you're on has analytics. So, like YouTube and TikTok, there's always analytics for like what's the best time, to go live and engage with your audience. So what I'm going to do, I was like, I'm going to try like doing something a little bit later in the evening for TikTok. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my notes and I'm going to like type some stuff out for video ideas. So in the chat, if you guys have fun ideas, you're like, hey, you should really try this TikTok. This would be really fun. This would be really funny or really cool. Let me know. But aside from just doing the funny, cool stuff, I also want to like basically do some more like education, not necessarily educational, because when you say educational, that sounds like the parent that's trying to get you something, like trying to watch something that is really boring. When your mom or dad's like, this show is really cool, it's got a lot of action and it's also educational. You're like, red X. But I mean more so educational in the world of like Star Wars, teach you guys things about Mandalorians and Mandalorian culture, stuff like that. So that's what I'm trying to add in as an addition to what I do on TikTok. So that's an idea for little things that I want to work on today. I don't have to work today, so I have a lot of time. Nice. I do not. I have a little time with you guys this morning. I have to do something at like a little around 12. So I'm just going to be streaming for a little bit, might go an hour, might go a little less. But it's just cool just chilling with you guys for a little bit, man. Mr. Drawing says season 3 was announced in the UK today for The Mandalorian. What? We're going to have to look that up. We're definitely going to have to look that up. So what I want to do really quick, let me pop open my notes. And I'm going to make a new one really quick. Yeah. There we go. Cool. And then I just think I have to share my screen. We'll share my screen and we'll get this party started, man. Where's the window at? There it is. Perfect. Okay. So cool. You guys can see my screen. So I think the first video, what was I thinking about? There's a song that was really cool that I liked. I'm trying to remember what the hell it was. Maybe, do I still have it up? Yeah, I do. I think. Yeah, Ready for War. So we'll just call it DadaLorian. DadaLorian TikToks for the day. So I'm doing this because a lot of my main TikToks on TikTok, sounding very redundant right now. A lot of them are, based off of, just you guys, the audience. And like, that's my main thing. So today I want to try to switch it up to where I do a little bit more like somewhat lore, but still being in character. So adding in, some of those aspects. So what I want to do, I think the first one, there was a song called, is it Ready for War? Yeah. Ready for War. So I think that'll be the first one. And this one's going to kind of be like a duet kind of thing, where folks can kind of like, if you guys want to duet, but in Star Wars, cosplay, Star Wars characters, that kind of stuff. That's what this one will kind of be geared towards, which I think will be really fun. Someone said, "Oh, Art Trooper, what's up, man? Hey, I joined to say hi. I'm on vacation, so bye." Nice. Well, thank you for popping in to say hi, man. Okay, ready for war. And then there was, oh yeah, someone wanted me to sing, sing to us, Mando. I actually can sing, so I think that would be really funny to add that one in. Okay, so Mandalorian. Oh yeah, that's the one I was gonna do. So getting into more lore stuff. I feel like this is something I really haven't talked about in a long time, or really at all. And that's the let's see, war between Jedi and Mandalorians. The war between Jedi and Mandalorians. So that's one that I kind of want to talk about. And, you know, and it really kind of gets into like the armor more so of Mandalorians, because, you know, it's one of those things of like, you know, why do Mandalorians have jetpacks? Why do they have flamethrowers? Why do they, you know, have guns and you know, all these different capabilities in their armor? And really it was to, you know, combat that of the style of Jedi. So it was really to mimic everything that the Jedi could do, because for a long time they've kind of been these ancient rivals, ancient enemies, you know, to each other, and that's the reason why. So they could combat, you know, in an agreeable manner, you know, and meet the, you know, the Jedi with their capabilities. So I kind of want to tap into that, at least on TikTok. I think that would be really fun, adding in, you know, some lore type stuff. So that's one of my ideas. Mr. Drawing says your wife should cosplay as Gina in your TikToks with Grogu. Oh, right. she's a blonde. She's a blondie blonde. So I don't think she would do that. But, you know, she did. She does like Ahsoka. She does like Ahsoka Tano. She has a cool backpack of Ahsoka, and she actually like kind of played she played Ahsoka in like my DadaLorian YouTube series. It was like, you know, just a more humanized version, but she also did that, and she also played Luke, which is really funny. So if you haven't seen it, go and check that out. Okay, so going on to video number 4, I usually do 12 videos, so I'm going to try to stick with that, with more of the lore stuff. So give me some ideas in the comments, guys, as I'm, you know, typing out and going through my own video stuff. I'm thinking, okay, the Mandalorian, you know, Jedi War, I think that one's great. I would also say, I'm trying to think. Somebody wanted to see like weapons. Let's talk about the Darksaber. Why not? Darksaber. So getting into the lore of that a little bit, even though I also have a cool YouTube video coming out soon that's actually going to get more into the lore of the Darksaber, which is really fun. I've talked about this with a few of you guys. Maybe I think Michael may have talked about it with you a little bit. And I've also, you know, mentioned it with the director that I've worked with, talking about like a film or something that would be really interesting to see, like the history of the Darksaber. But anyway, I have a cool lore video on YouTube that's going to be coming out that gets into like the lore of the Darksaber and like every hand that's held it that we know of in canon, pretty much. So that should be coming out, I believe, yeah, this upcoming month. So that's one thing you guys could expect. You could talk about how the Mandalorian relationship with the Sith. That'd be really interesting. That'd be an interesting one. Mandalorians, and so we have Mandalorians and the Jedi, Mandalorians and the Sith. Yeah, shit, why not? Let's do it. I'll look it up. Mandalorians versus Sith. So that would be a fun one too. Why not? Mr. Drawing says, love the ideas. Thanks, man. You can go over the different types of Mandalorians. Yeah. And there are several. Yes. Oh, yes. Because there are, you could be like a bounty hunter, right? But not all Mandalorians are bounty hunters. So, yes, I like that. Different types. Different types of Mandos. I like that. That's a good one. Good job, Michael. Pat yourself on the back. I like that. How many Mandalorians are there? You know what? We're gonna make that a video. How many or actually different types of Mandos? How many Mandos are there? How many Mandalorians are there? Oh, you know what? Actually, yeah, let's make that another video. How many Mandalorians are there? I like that because the corner that I could come from with that is more so like how many Mandalorians are left, like how many still exist, kind of a thing. I think that would be really interesting. And then, I mean, in canon, if we're going off of the timeline of like the Mandalorian, we know that there's still some from the House of Vizsla. Obviously, the Children of the Watch, which is where Din Djarin is from. So there's a little, we know that there's some, but a lot of them are, honestly, the question is, we really don't know the answer to that. And we're still kind of learning because, Bo-Katan and, there's a few others. So there's a lot that are kind of spread out, but still in the shadows. Hey, my boy Nestor's here. Star Wars get into the MCU because the fault of Loki and Sylvie, right? The TVA is coming after everyone, man. They're going to prune everyone. Loki was badass, and it's cool that we're getting a season 2 for that. They were set up in different squadron types, a lot like the clone troopers in the Republic. Interesting. Oh yeah, you're talking about Mandalorians. Yeah. Boba Fett is a Mandalorian, right? Boba Fett is not a Mandalorian. His father was, though. Jango Fett. Jango Fett was a Mandalorian through. He took the Creed, so he was raised by Mandalorians and took the Creed. And became a Mandalorian. But Boba Fett, no, he is not. He's just a simple man making his way through the galaxy like his father before him. And he wears, the Mandalorian armor, but, he has not taken the Creed. He's just a badass bounty hunter. But the unique thing about Boba Fett is that, there wouldn't be any Mandalorians without his character. You know what I mean? Like, he's the one who started it off, and the idea of the Mandalorian people, kind of branched out after, him. So he's such a unique guy, and I'm so excited that we get to have his show too. I think that's going to be badass in December, man. Book of Boba Fett. I really, and I've talked about this before, but I really hope that episode 1 actually dives into that moment right in Return of the Jedi where he was kicked into the Sarlacc pit. We want to see that moment right there, and then take us off from there, like how he lost the armor, how did he survive the Sarlacc pit, all that kind of stuff. I think that would be really cool. I would love to see the main Mandalorian family lines. Oh yeah, man. And there's a few. I know, like, the Kryz, family. You have Vizsla, and I know there are others. I mean, even as you dive into like Legends and some other things. So that would be really fun. But I think I'm gonna touch on that because I added it in. There was the question, different types of Mandos. So, and with that, I'll give like a listing. So it's like, the Shadow Collective, right? Like when, Darth Maul took over, Mandalore for a little while, you have those Mandalorians. And then you also have the people of Mandalore. So like, for instance, Duchess Satine and anyone who grew up and if you were born on Mandalore, you're a Mandalorian, even if you don't wear a bucket on your head, right? So there's different ways of looking at it from that perspective, which is going to be really fun. And then you have those like, obviously, Din Djarin, you have the Death Watch, and the Republic, Mandalorians. There's so many. So that's going to be a fun one to touch on. So I'm going to do that one today too. Okay, so we have 7. I need 12. So we need like 5 more. Right? I think I can count. I'm pretty sure we need like 5 more. So throw me some ideas, guys. How long have you been interested in Star Wars and the Mandalorians? I have been a fan and interested in Star Wars for like my entire life, man. As far as being a content creator, that all changed like, just about 2 years ago. So I've been content creating Star Wars content for about 2 years. Before that, man, it was all like Marvel, Power Rangers, centric. Like anyone who knows me knows, like, yeah, that was, my main thing, tokusatsu, and I still love that stuff. But in terms of like where I wanted to go with the channel, I always wanted to do Star Wars. And if you paid attention to my old videos, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, you'll know this is valid and truth, because I started a thing with a friend of mine who actually lives out here. His name is Trujillo Nate. So he's a badass, prop maker, cool buddy of mine. Fantastic at what he does in prop making. I mean, it's insane. He has like freaking 20 3D printers in his house. And I'm just kidding, he doesn't have 20, but to me, it's amazing all the stuff he can do and the stuff that he can build. And so he invited me over like a few years ago and was like, hey, I got these lightsabers and Star Wars props. I mean, if you're looking to add other content to your channel, and I know you're a Star Wars fan as well, aside from just, Power Ranger stuff, he was like, hey, maybe this could be a cool thing for you, to where you can add some of this content to your channel. So I started sneaking that into my channel, where again, years ago, it was just like mainly like Power Ranger, tokusatsu centric. And then I started sneaking in this new show called Star Wars, The Prop Wars, where I would kind of review like lightsabers and Star Wars props. And back then it wasn't received as well as I, had hoped. But that all changed when I like did the name change. And I was like, I just went all in. I was like, you know what? Screw it, man. Shit. I'm going to change my name. I'm going to do what I want. And then when I did that, everyone seemed to really like it. So it's been going good so far, going really good. But yeah, I've been a Star Wars fan. And as far as Mandalorian, I mean, when the show came out, when the show was announced, I didn't know much about it. I was just like, is this going to be about Boba Fett? Like, what is this? Who is this guy? And then, when I watched the first season, I was hooked. I was absolutely hooked, man. So, and it's just so cool, I love the underground story of the Mandalorian and his character. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. He's not the smartest. He's not the powerfulest character. He's not, the most popular. But you love seeing the hero's journey, and that's something that I enjoy, with his character and all the other characters that are reprising their roles. Are you willing to do Legends lore? Yeah, Legends lore would be really cool. I think I need to get more educated though on Legends lore before I speak on it. I think it would be really cool. I have a couple books of Legends that I plan on, reading here soon, but that's like after the move and all that jazz. You could go over each Mandalore. That would be really cool. Like those who have been like the leader. Ooh, I'm gonna put that in. And you said, may I join the live? Yeah, here soon. I want to try to get some FaceTime with everyone and try to get some more people to jump in before I have guests on. But yes, I say like probably like once we hit 30 minutes, I can let you guys come in. So let's talk about the Mandalores. I like that. Really cool. Okay, so that's 8. What about number 9? The Great Purge. Ooh, I think that will be a good one. What is the Great Purge? And that's a good one too. Okay, now we just need 3. 10, 11, and 12. So what would number 10 be? If we're, this is all kind of lore stuff. This is all kind of conversational, videos that I want to have on here. I would love to help you with the research if you want. Yeah, no, I think that would be cool. I think if I'm going to talk about Legends lore, I think I want it to be where I've read it and I know it. You know what I mean? It's different than like looking it up. I mean, you could, but I kind of want to like read some stuff. So if you got any books of Mandalorian Legends lore that you would recommend, send that my way. That way I can get educated on it for myself first. You know what I mean? It's different than just reading an article or anything like that. I want to be able to like, I have the book, I read it, and I know it for myself and enjoyed it and went through that journey. When the Mandalorians were fragmented before Revan reunited them. Oh yeah, Revan is a really cool character. Was he a Mandalorian as well? Or am I making that up? I think he was. And he was like in the dark side and in the light side at one point, right? I don't know much about like Old Republic stuff, man. But that's why I'm excited that Disney is like doing a whole new refurbishment of the game. So if you're somebody like me that never really got to play kind of that experience, it's going to be cool to tap into that. I think it'll be really fun. So we'll see what happens. I don't know if there's any updates on that game or not. It'd be really fun to play it though. So let's see, guys. What do we got? So that's 10. No, we have 9 videos. So what would number 10 be? Should I talk about Grogu? Grogu. Yeah, let's talk about Grogu. Grogu's past. And let's talk about Grogu's past and Grogu's future. And I obviously cannot spell. What the hell? There we go. So Grogu's past and Grogu's future. I think that's great. I think for that one, what I want to do is kind of talk about, like, yeah, you know, obviously there's some stuff that this baby child, man child, because he's like over 50 years old. So this man child, he's seen some things. So he was in the Jedi Order. He probably knew Anakin Skywalker. He probably knew, you know, Master Yoda, Mace Windu, all of those guys. He trained with many masters. And he probably seen some of the events of Order 66. And his past is such a mystery. And it almost makes me wonder if we'll ever really get any details about it, or if they're going to treat him in a sense of Yoda, which I kind of hope that they do. You know, I don't really want to know, you know, his species. I don't want it to be revealed exactly where he came from. I don't think we need to have like a village of other, you know, similar species of Grogu. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think we need to see that because, you know, with Master Yoda, we've talked about this before, but there's something so unique about not knowing so much about that character. It makes him more of a mystery. And I like that. And I think that should be the same, you know, for Grogu. And I hope that they keep that. Now, in terms of the history, no, the future. So in terms of the future for Grogu, I think that Grogu is part of the future of Star Wars. You know, because his species can live so long, I feel like he could eventually become this pinnacle character similar to that of Master Yoda or similar to that of Luke Skywalker, to where he becomes almost like, you know, another legend, you know, in the future because of how powerful he is and because of how long he can live. He's going to outlive Din Djarin. He's going to outlive, you know, all the folks in the Mandalorian. He's probably going to outlive Ahsoka, and he'll probably outlive Rey, you know. So it'll be interesting to see like what they do with him in the future, and will he train, you know, other Force sensitive, you know, individuals, you know, the older he becomes. So I think, you know, he's definitely part of the future for Star Wars because there's so much you can do with the character just based on the fact alone, his species, how slowly they age. You know, he could, you know, as long as he's alive and he's kept safe, I think, you know, you could really see some cool things with him in the future for Star Wars. So that's one thing that I want to touch on for that video on TikTok. So far we got 10. We just need 2 more, 11 and 12. He took it to avenge him as he went to take down Initiate before turning back into Darth Revan. Oh, interesting. Can I do fan art for you on my TikTok? If so, I'd love for you to see it. Yeah, man, I always love seeing fan art. I just reacted to someone's fan art. That was really cool. So, yeah, man, I'm all about that. I'm always humbled and very, you know, just intrigued and grateful for those little moments when I get to see that. So, yeah, man, absolutely. You want to do fan art? Knock yourself out. I would love to see it and react to it. Old Republic Deceived. It is a story primarily based on Darth Malgus and a Padawan that is massively affected by him. But it shows the Mandalore, the Avenger before she became that. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I really, that's something I'm excited to learn more about is the Old Republic, man. And I'm ready for them to like release the game, the, you know, refurbished game. I think that's going to be really cool. Especially again, like I said, if you're a fan like me that like you missed out on that time period, like you didn't get to play any of those games, I think it's just going to be so fun and so cool to like be like a first person experiencing it, you know, now in today's day and age, which I think is going to be really cool. Thanks. My TikTok as Mr. Drawings YT. I can't wait for you to see it. Nice. Yeah. When you do it, just tag me in it. So I don't forget. If you tag me, I should be able to see it. So That'll be awesome, man. Okay, so I got to get 2 more videos in. So that's 10. We're looking pretty good. So far for the DadaLorian TikToks for the day, we got Ready for War. We got Sing to Us, Mando. War between Jedi and Mandalorians. We got the Darksaber for number 4. Mandalorians versus the Sith. Different types of Mandos. How many Mandalorians are there? And then Mandalores. So like, Mandalore the Great, Mandalore, there's different Mandalores. I can't remember other titles. I'll have to look it up. But, there's different Mandalores. What is the Great Purge at number 9? And then number 10, Grogu's Past and Grogu's Future. So, number 11. What are we talking about for number 11, guys? Yeah, what are we talking about? I don't know. What do we want to talk about for number 11? I could talk about... do I have all the pieces here? I guess I do. Teal Vizsla. I guess I could do that. So, you know what? Why not? Teal Vizsla. So Teal Vizsla is a character that I'm playing in the Bo-Katan fan film. And I'm sure my director wouldn't mind me, talking a little bit about him. I'm not going to go into there's not much to go into, about the character, but other than his name and the fact that you'll see him in the movie. So it'll be kind of like a thing, like a teaser, like, hey, you want to see if you want to see more about this guy, watch the film. So I'll probably do something like that. And speaking of which, I just seen some green screen footage of the troopers in this film. That's really cool. I'm so behind. Yeah, Michael, I just seen your message on Instagram. I got like 2 other messages. I have not checked my IG at all today. Character reveal, though. I love the picture and documentation. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm like so behind. I have like 3 messages from people I did not even see. Okay, I'm all caught up. So we need 1 more video, guys. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't do Teal Vizsla then. Actually, hold on. 11. So what should 11 be, guys? I was going to do Teal Vizsla, but I changed my mind. What do you guys suggest for 11 and 12? We got to figure out what some of those videos will be. The last 2. My cousin keeps saying, what happened to your ship? He's right next to me. Dude, really, dude? You're just trying to make me sad all over again. The feels, man. The feels. You guys, it hurts so bad seeing that ship just explode, man. Nothing left of it. But I'm sure I'll get a new ship in season 3. This is the way. Original Mandalorians and Old Republic Mandos. I'm kind of getting into that, though, already, with different types of Mandos. So I have that for number 6. So I kind of touch on that already. For 11, what else could I talk about with Mandalorians? I could talk about the Creed, but I feel like I've already talked about the Creed in other videos, but maybe an updated one would be cool. So the Mandalorian Creed, why not? The Mandalorian Creed. Sure. You know what? We'll do that. Why not? And then number 12, this is the last one. It's got to be good. It's got to be juicy. Any suggestions? So we just need 1 more video. I think this one, it's got to be really cool. Checking my email as well to stay updated. Okay, I think I'm good. Nothing significant. Man, why do I have so many emails right now? What is going on? My God. Anyway, not just Darksaber, the origin of their weapons. Not just the Darksaber. The origin of Mandalorian weapons. That might be really fun. The origin Mandalorian weapons. Okay. Okay, so war between Jedi and Mandalorians. So Mandalorian weapons, weapons slash gear. Sure. Okay, so the war between Jedi and Mandalorians. I was gonna touch on that already, but I'm gonna change that. So I'll keep it the war between Jedi and Mandalorians. Just talk about like, hey, what was the cause of that, and what are the facts that we know about the early history between the war between the Jedi and Mandalorians, and then what was the relationship on the flip side of that, Mandalorians and the Sith. So I think those are two cool ones. And then number 12, I think that's great, Michael. I think like Mandalorian weapons slash gear. So talking about kind of like a layout of everything and what does everything mean. I think that would be really cool. So I think that'll be number 12. So cool. We have our 12 videos for the day. I think that's going to be really cool. Some were inspired by the original Dark Lords of the Sith. Interesting. For the fan art, should I do Grogu or your daughter in your logo? Oh, man. I mean, honestly, whichever one you want. I wouldn't be the DadaLorian without my daughter. By the way, tomorrow is my daughter's birthday, so make sure you guys wish her a very happy early birthday. And I'll be live tomorrow doing a little fun birthday stream for her. Yeah, we got a whole little birthday party thing set up for her, so it's going to be really cool. She turns 2. Terrible 2s, man, I know. So yeah, I'll post some videos tomorrow. I'll be sure to wish her a happy birthday. But yeah, if you want to do something to her, that's really cool. I always appreciate that, man. I know she'll like it for sure too. If you make my daughter smile, that's how you get on my gut list. That's how you get on my gut list. I'll be tuning in tomorrow. Nice. Yeah, man, it's gonna be really fun. I think the stream tomorrow I'll be live at 11 again. I'll be live at 11. I think that works. So we're at our 30-minute mark. I promised my buddy Michael I would let him in. Let's just go ahead and do that. Post you guys in if you guys want to chat. You guys got topics you want to talk about. We already met our goal for the 12 videos, so we're good to go there. If you guys have other video ideas, I can keep this up. So let's do that. Why not? I don't mind getting into other lore things. I think it would be really fun. I honestly wouldn't mind talking about some other lore things. To plan for other videos. And it's also going to be nice because I want to try to get ahead of the game, mainly because I know come August 18th, I'm going to be a little absent from making so many videos, but I will have friends from TikTok that are taking over my TikTok. Yeah. So that always helps. Let me go ahead and let my boy Michael in. Michael, what's up, dude? How you doing?
How's it going, man?
Going really good, man. Thanks for all your expertise and knowledge on Star Wars and Mandalorians, man. You guys really helped me out with some fun lore ideas. I think that's kind of one of the new things I want to add, is because even though it's not comparing myself to anyone, but kind of comparing myself to myself in a sense, because I look at like some of my older videos on TikTok. There were times, you guys know, like I wasn't always in suit. Like I would show my face a lot of the time on TikTok. But it wasn't until like things really took off that I was like, hey, I want to try something new, because I've seen this work for other people where it was like they're in character all the time. They don't show their face unless, it's like a special event. And who better to do that than the Mandalorian, Din Djarin character, you know what I mean? So I was like, this fits perfect. I want to try it. And then I got stuck in it on TikTok and I can't escape it, but it's great. It's great. So thank you guys for helping me with the ideas. What I wanted to do too, Michael, is bring you on maybe to have another list of 12 other ideas talking about Mandalorian things. So I guess we could talk about number 1. What would you say, like, hey, this would be another cool Mandalorian history lesson idea? Take it away.
Let's see. For me, my first thought is, since I'm a huge fan of the Old Republic and what it can be, I would personally like, we've already delved into this, like going over the Mandalorians, like the Mandalores themselves. I think it would actually be good to see which ones actually started the biggest effect, because some of them, like for example, during the time of Darth Malgus, there was, I forget the name off the top of my head, but he is known as the Mandalore who was kind of like a fake. He was appointed by Vitiate to be the Mandalore, and no one respected him for it. And so whenever he was killed during combat, nobody cared.
Yep.
And also going off of that, the one who I was mentioning earlier, the one who's in Deceived, she's the one who takes up the mantle as Mandalore the Avenger, and she's actually part of Clan Vizsla.
Interesting. While I have you here, Mandalores, there it is. Hold on, I just wanted to. Oops. I'm gonna make that capitalized. Mandalores. So, what I wanted to do was get a listing from. Actually, you know what we could do? I can be smart. Let's do this.
Because honestly, you can make a whole series just about Mandalores, make a video over each Mandalore. In all honesty, because each one of them has done something big or horrible in their own way.
Yeah. Mandalores. Okay, Mandalore title. So I wanted to try to get a list of like all the.
Because I can think of a few off the top of my head. As I will admit, I did more research into Sith than I have Mandalorians, but due to the relationship with the Sith and Mandalorians, and they're always connected, it seems like, you do pick up on a bit of it, such as Canderous Ordo being one of the Mandalorians who became a Mandalore thanks to Revan, because Revan, whenever he was trying to reunite the clans, Clan Ordo was a bit shattered after the Great Mandalorian, not the Mandalorian War, and after all that issue, after a lot of the clans had shattered, Clan Ordo especially was fragmented, and Canderous went off and basically became kind of like what Boba Fett was, just being kind of as a mercenary / bodyguard until he came across Revan and swallowed his pride and went with him in order to try to bring peace to kill Malak.
Yeah.
And to hopefully bring the Mandalorians back together. And even before doing that, he was living on Coruscant with Revan, kind of as your bar buddy.
Yeah. Yep.
You can read into that in the Old Republic Revan book. It will go into more detail.
Okay.
If you can't tell, I love reading about the Old Republic books. If you can't tell.
Yeah. No, man. I think. Yeah, that's something I would want to add to my collection. I've got a few Legends books. I have not touched, haven't read them yet because I still need to get through one of the most current, High Republic book. So I'm really enjoying that. But
which one?
After that, I know there's two. There's a junior novel and then there's the main novel. It's what is it? Not Into the Shadows. It's Out of the Shadows. I think it may be Out of the Shadows. That's the one that I have. So I haven't read that yet. I've read the one. Yeah, I've read the one that's by Claudia Gray. I read that one. That was on like audiobook, but I bought the paperback of the most recent. So it's definitely
that was Into the Dark. I have all.
Yeah.
I have the adult ones and the junior ones, but I do not have the young ones.
Yeah. Yep.
But I have them.
I do want to get one of the junior novels though. I know Daniel Jose Older. He did some of those, and I love his writing and his style. And he's a cool guy. He's even on TikTok, and he's very engaged, with the Star Wars community. That's another thing I want to try to do eventually is set up things to where I can bring him on the show. We talked about it a few months ago, so I just got to hit him up. But I think that would be cool to bring him on. But before I do that, I'm like, damn, I got to read one of his books, to really be like, yeah, I got some experience. I've read your stuff. I've read one of his chapters in the 40 year anniversary of Empire Strikes Back, from a different, from a certain point of view. So he has a chapter in there that was great. He's also done Last Shot, which was the solo book. And I have that, but again, it's like, yeah, before I bring him on, I gotta read some of his art. So some of his work for sure. So that's on my list too. And
also, I just looked at your list again about was Boba Fett a Mandalorian? In Legends, he was.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in Legends, he was. That's what's so cool about that is because that was one reason why during the Clone Wars, for a while, Star Wars was going through the havoc that a lot of fans were trying to give. Like people were trying to give it about as much hell as they did the sequels. because they decided, you know what, that's not canon anymore. It's like, and everybody kind of got confused by that, but it actually fully went around in Mandalorian and explained it, especially with Jango. And I liked that because it also did show the corruption within Mandalore, which I think that would also be a cool video to go over. It would be going over the corruption of Mandalore within itself, because even during the Clone Wars, they didn't know who they were anymore.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. The Death Watch. There was that divide between, you know, what Duchess Satine wanted to do, where she was definitely. I get what you're saying, where they really didn't know who they were, because Duchess Satine, even though, you know, she was trying to live a peaceful, you know, life in the midst of everything that was going on with, you know, the Jedi Order and the Republic. It was kind of one of those things, like the Mandalorian at heart, you know, they are these war-bound people, and that's kind of the issue that, you know, the Kryz side of things, you know, well, not Kryz, sorry. Well, I mean, yeah, Bo-Katan, I mean, she was in, you know, Death Watch, but that's kind of the issue Death Watch had, was like, you know, that's not who we are. We aren't these peaceful hippies. We're war-bound hooligans. You know, let's get back to the original ways, you know. So that was interesting. I enjoyed me some Clone Wars, man. You mentioned something else. I had a conversation with someone recently where, you know, he was saying, like, yeah, he misses Legends because Legends was canon, and he's so mad that Disney, you know, when they bought out Lucasfilm, that they erased that. And I was like, Legends was never canon. Legends was always Legends. You know what I mean? And it doesn't mean that we can't enjoy those stories. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean that it takes anything away from the enjoyment of those stories. But again, I mean, even, damn it, I have it packed up in a box right when I want to grab it. But the Star Wars book that came out in 2020, it touches on that, like almost in like the very first chapter, where it tells you what's canon and what's Legends, and what, you know, is like not connected. And it even gives you the years and all that stuff and breaks it down. So anyone who's, I want to do a video on that too, kind of getting into that topic.
I get exactly what you're talking about. It was just that it was so widely accepted that it basically became like unofficially canon. Like there's some stories that they, like, honestly, they were off on their own so well, they could have been canon and it wouldn't have affected anything, such as the entire Old Republic time period. On the most part, most of that wouldn't have affected anything for what we know now in the films. Most of that either diluted away, or its effects actually make sense with what later on happens. But I mean, you know, at the same time, it was like, it was never like, hey, George Lucas came out and said, these are canon to, it never had the stamp of approval. It was just it was just, and like you said, like a legend.
There were so many like books and stories that were out, that have come out throughout the years. There's no way that all of that stuff, you know what I mean, could fit into the ongoing story. But again, you know, that doesn't take away from, I never want to be that person to take away from anyone's excitement. Because again, you know, I'm just now getting into Legends, and I enjoy it because I enjoy those stories for what they are. It's just like the Clone Wars anime show that came out on Cartoon Network. Not the Dave Filoni one, but the one that was before that. Even though I think Dave... You know, so like that is considered Legends. It's not canon, you know, and George Lucas came out and talked about that, but it's still badass, and I still enjoy it for what it is. And I'm so glad, even with Star Wars Visions that's coming out in September, they've even said that that's not canon, you know, to the ongoing story. And I'm glad that they announced that.
It's like, you know, it makes it just more freedom.
Right. It's just enjoy the stories for what they are. And just a different adaptation of Star Wars, and that's okay too. So I'm excited for that, man.
And actually, it was actually yesterday I came across somebody while I was, because like I told you, I'm a stalker at a Walmart, and while I was trying to stock some shelves, I saw a guy come by. He was wearing a Star Wars shirt. I said, "Hey man, nice shirt," and he started talking Star Wars with me for a minute. And then he was talking about how much he hates Disney Star Wars now. He thinks Legends was the best, and I said, well, keep in mind, Disney is just trying to have its own way. You know, it's trying to have its own take on Star Wars, as well as the fact of you gotta keep in mind there's new faces coming in, and some things need to be changed. You know, I'm not saying that because I'm someone who personally I like Legends continuity. I like the Old Republic. I love reading over Darth Malgus and ones like them more than I would watching the sequel trilogy. I'm not gonna say the sequel trilogy is horrible. I can enjoy it. You know, I'm just saying like my personal preference. Yes, I enjoy those more, but I still give respect.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely, man.
And
I mean, and
then like, and then like you were trying to say that the High Republic was bad. And the only reasoning that I've ever heard of people saying the High Republic is bad is two reasons. And to me, one of them is void and it doesn't make sense. And that's calling I'm forgetting his name, the Wookiee Jedi. I forget it because it's been almost since.
Oh yeah.
Trying to call him a furry, which to me, I'm like, okay, that's void. That's unrelatable. You know, like that doesn't mean anything. And then the other one is Into the Dark, having that. I think it was called a geode. You know, the rock person being a navigator.
Yep.
I even looked into it. Why the author was challenged by her husband to make a rock into a character, and she did it.
Wow.
And to me, I can get behind it if it works. You know what I mean? If it works, I can get behind it. But people are saying it's just a rock; it doesn't mean anything. You don't know that yet.
Yeah, read the whole damn story. Give it a chance.
I was like, you don't know that yet. And I even said, if you look into it, they even introduce a character, like as I say, a character, an entire new species that was actually supposed to be more devastating than even the Sith.
Yeah,
like the Drengar, I think is what they're called.
Yep, exactly.
Like,
and they had
what was that?
The Trandoshan Jedi Master. Like he,
I thought that was so cool.
Wrapped up. Yeah,
I thought that was really cool.
And again, with High Republic, this is a different era, and that's one of the things that I enjoy about it. It's outside of what we know. It's outside of the Skywalker saga. This is something new and refreshing. And if it's not for you, same as like the sequel trilogy or the prequels, you know, then that's okay. You know, but again, what a time to be a Star Wars fan. There's a little something, you know, for everyone, and that's what I love about the books. For me, I am enjoying the ride of the High Republic. I really am, and I'll tell you why.
Same.
It's because I never used to be a crazy bookworm. Comic books, graphic novels, yes, all day. But in terms of like just reading a book, reading a novel, you know, I never used to be into it until about 2 years ago. And then we got this announcement of the High Republic, and I was like, wow. Right when I change my branding, right when I get into actually making Star Wars content, I get to join this new phase of Star Wars books. And mind you, Star Wars books, novels, all that stuff has been coming out for years. But this is the first time that, in my experience, where I was able to go from the start on into the next phases, you know, where these books are being released, and being there from the start and going into the finish. Like, this is a cool experience, you know, for me and for many others, I'm sure. So
that's exactly how I am.
I enjoy it, man.
That's exactly how I am about this. Because like for me, I was really little, I would read books. Like I would read books 100% all day, any day. But once I got into middle school, I had to stop reading. I'm not getting into the reasons why. That's a completely another story for another day. But I never could get back into reading at all for almost 7 years.
Oh wow!
I couldn't even pick up a book. I couldn't force myself to read anything.
Mm-hmm.
But once I finished high school and I was on my senior year, since I was in the band at high school, we went on a trip to Disney World. And while I was there, I picked up one book while I was there, just for the heck of it. Because keep in mind, at that point in time, I was kind of about Star Wars. I was kind of neutral about it. I thought it was cool, but I wasn't super into it. Yeah. I then go in there and I pick up the Book of Sith and I read it on the entire bus ride home.
Yeah.
And I find a newfound love for Star Wars. And look where I am now.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I started looking way too deep into Star Wars. I read the entire Darth Bane trilogy. I read almost every single book entitled Old Republic. I think the only one I have not read yet is Annihilation and Fatal Alliance. Yeah, that's it.
Annihilation. Those are the only. What is that? Is that Thrawn?
No, it's an Old Republic.
Oh, okay. I have a
Uh,
Thrawn one. I think it's Ascendancy. I haven't. I know there's a 3-parter to that. I think for the other two, I'm probably just eventually going to do audiobooks for those.
yeah,
Um,
I have the 3 canon Thrawn books all hardcover.
yeah,
Yeah. Treason, Alliances, and then the original.
yeah, okay. And they just did some re-releases of what was it? Gosh, I have the original 3. It's
like Dark Force Rising.
yeah, they just did
Heir
some
of the
re-releases.
Empire.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, they just re-released those.
I'm just looking at my library.
Yeah, they have new covers and everything. I seen them at Target. I was like, what? Mr. Drawing says, Michael, you are very into your Star Wars knowledge. Yes, he is. Yes, he is, man.
I love to read these things. And speaking of reading into things, while you were talking about like what Mandalorian books, like what books to read over to get Mandalorian, I looked that up before I jumped on. It's supposedly they're in this in Out of the Shadows. Supposedly, I haven't read it, and I want to read it.
Yeah.
And since I'm off work today and tomorrow, chances are.
You said about Mandalorians?
Yeah, apparently a Mandalorian or Mandalorian's culture is supposed to be referenced at least.
Interesting. Okay.
Which would be cool.
Yeah,
because
that's the next on my reading list.
For me, the next one on my reading list is Rising Storm.
Oh my God, that's the one that I'm talking about. Sorry, that's the one that I'm going to be reading next. I already read Out of the Shadow. Rising Storm. That's the one I'm going to be reading next. Yeah.
But yeah, Rising Storm, the adult one. I loved Light of the Jedi. That got me so deep into the High Republic. I want to read this.
Yeah, man. That's on my list next. Once we get into the house and I'm a little more settled, I'll probably start reading a little bit more again. So it's on my list for sure, man. So back to.
But just one thing to just brag. Sorry, just one more thing. I just to brag. Every High Republic book I've got is hardcover.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. And I'm
High Republic it's great, man. I love me some High Republic stuff.
I love the story that they're taking with this. I really do.
Yeah.
It's a nice
I have 4 other videos for the next phase of like kind of lore videos. So the first one, Old Republic Mandalorians. I think that's going to be great. Was Boba Fett a Mandalorian in Legends? Yes, in canon. Oh, well, yes, in Legends, no in canon. Then I'm going to talk about Mandalorian Season 3 predictions, just some things that, I want to talk about. And then should I talk about, I guess we really won't know, but I don't know if this would be a fun idea to talk about, but like, where is Din Djarin in the future? So like, where is Din Djarin during the time of the sequel trilogy? That'd be kind of fun.
I think that'd actually be a good one to go over, especially like whenever you're talking about Grogu. I feel like those two would be good like to put back to back to each other. And I think it would also be good to try to get predictions over what you think would happen with Bo-Katan.
Yeah, so like almost like because it's Star Wars. So will there be a war between Mandalorians? I think Din Djarin is going to try to be crafty enough to look, honestly,
because he doesn't want to.
I don't think he's not like, I didn't ask for this weight, but I think there's something significant about that. You know what I mean? Because in that last episode, Moff Gideon, he orchestrated that whole thing. He knew that Bo-Katan was going to be on the other side of, their ship, and he knew that Din Djarin would be there. He even was speaking about that. And then Din was like, what are you getting at? What are you trying to say? And he knew that they were going to fight. He knew that Din Djarin would beat him, and he knew that he would get the Darksaber. But Din Djarin didn't know about all of, the rules and the history that goes behind that Darksaber. So with that, I think Din, my predictions too is that he's kind of one of those guys of like, look, I think he's going to be kind of at a crossroads. Like, I could go back to the life of living a bounty hunter life, or, I think he's also in a place where he's kind of transitioning because, he's taken his helmet off multiple times. He's, risked his life to save this child, and done things, that have kind of gone against his creed, as a Mandalorian, all for the sake of, for protecting and the love that he has for Grogu. Which is just badass. It's really cool. So, but with that, I almost wonder, like, hey, will he be open to, okay, maybe I need to learn more about my Mandalorian heritage and what it really means to be a Mandalorian outside of the cult that he was raised in, I could see him kind of going down that route. But I don't see him necessarily being like, all right, now I'm going to be King of Mandalore. I feel like he'll try to be tricky in some way to get the Darksaber back into the hands of Bo-Katan. So like maybe some type of fight, between the two. So I don't know. How do I put that in a title for TikTok? Bo-Katan versus Mando. There you go.
And
that's what I'm trying to put in that show.
And this is something I cannot help but think about, because I just saw that comment about you getting your new ship in season 3. I've been thinking about this a lot, and I cannot get it out of my mind. Yeah. How would it be if Mando actually gets to Slave 1?
Are you talking about Boba Fett's ship?
Yeah.
I want him to get something new, something different. Like
so do I, but think about it though. If Boba Fett becomes like the new crime lord, what business does he have to really be going around if he has people doing it for him? Yeah. It's good. To me, I feel like that is going to be answered in the book of Boba Fett, because seeing on how he handles it will actually answer it. But I could honestly see that. I could see them parting ways on Tatooine, giving Mando his ship and everything else, because they all went there to handle Moff Gideon and Boba's ship, because Mando's ship is gone.
I could see it, but then it's almost like one of those things of like, I don't see it. Only because it's like, think of like your parents. Like, I'm going to be at the house. Go ahead and take the keys, use my car, fill it up with gas when you're done. I don't know.
I know. It's one of those things where I can see it, but I don't know if I want to see it.
Yeah. But I almost wonder, like, aren't there other... I mean, there's probably other versions similar to that of Slave 1. So maybe he could do like a ghost slave, where it's like, maybe Mando has blueprints of the ghost. Not the ghost. What am I talking about? That's Rebels. What am I talking about? Razor slave. Dog, tell me that title doesn't sound badass. The Razor Slave.
And
Let me use my Jonah Jameson voice. Razor Slave. We're making it official. Put that in the papers right now. Razor Slave. Yeah, I
love that.
The Razor Slave, dude. That's badass.
And
I will buy that in a toy right now. That's
and
awesome.
Also, a fun fact for you, because a lot of people didn't know this. You know the name Razor Crest?
Yeah.
Did you know that was actually? I hate to say it like this. That's the laziest name to give the ship.
Razor Crest? Probably.
But do you know why it was so lazy?
No.
That's the actual name of the design of the ship, like that came off the line.
Oh, Razor Crest?
That's the name of the ship design that came right off the line. It's not a named ship like Slave 1. It's literally what it was named as it came off the line.
It works.
Yeah, I mean, it works great. It's kind of like like a Ford F-150. That's what its name was. It's coming off the line. There's a Razor Crest as it comes off the line.
I think seeing like a little, but I think Dan should get something that's more unique to himself. That's not.
To me, the Razor Crest was great.
Razor Crest is great. What I really do hope is that he has like a blueprint of the ship. Maybe that's a possibility where it's like, hey, I got a blueprint of the ship.
Where he has to remake the ship.
Right. Yeah. Like maybe he can remake it in some sense. Or Bo-Katan can hook him up. I don't know. We'll see. So
I don't think Bo-Katan's going to help him.
Yeah. I think there's going to be some conflict. I feel like there's definitely going to be some conflict between the two. Because again, you're talking about a lady that her whole purpose of helping him get, to Moff Gideon was so she could get to Moff Gideon and get the Darksaber. Mm-hmm. And now that he has it, she's not just going to hold his hand and teach him how to be the Mandalore. She wanted that for herself. And I don't think Dan wanted that extra weight and responsibility. He's not looking to wear the crown. So I think ultimately he's going to, he doesn't seem arrogant in the sense of like, well, now I'm going to be the king of Mandalore. Like, no, Dan doesn't care about that. Like, he cares for his Mandalorian people, but he wasn't looking for that responsibility. It just snuck up on him. You know what I mean? It was orchestrated by Moff Gideon. So I think we're going to see some conflict between the two, but I think it's going to be necessary conflict to where, Dan's going to try to figure out like, look, I don't want this. And if you're not going to take it, I'm going to fight you and make you take it in some sense, you know, which I think will be badass. What is the backstory to the Mando helmet? Like, what do you mean? Like mine in terms of cosplay, or you talking about just?
I think what they're referring to is kind of like a new idea for a video, going over like what was the idea for like, what was the idea for that design?
Gotcha. Okay, yeah. Why not? I love that.
Honestly, that's something that's actually quite intriguing because like with the clone trooper armor, I've always looked at the helmet and go, well, they took it. Well, Jango Fett's DNA, Jango Fett's style armor.
Yeah. Yep. I like that. I just titled it "Why do Mandos wear helmets?" And I'll kind of get into the history of the design of that with it too. Yeah.
And I've got two things to say real quick. When it comes to Mandalorian himself, Din Djarin. One, have you ever noticed that when it comes to stories, when it comes to people getting like a unique power, you know, like when it comes like to rank or an actual like mutation or whatever you want to call it, usually the people who get it and they don't want it are usually the ones who do it the best. Yeah. And like for example, like he doesn't want it. He's very humble about it. He doesn't want this power. He just wants to live his own life and do what he needs to do to survive in the galaxy and do what's best for Grogu and everything else. Yeah. And so because of that, I honestly think he will become the new Mandalore and bring the Mandalorian culture back together, bringing the culture that he had, like with the Armorer, for example, bringing them back into the light and bringing them with what Bo-Katan was trying to do, like with like Clan Ren and ones like them, and bringing them all together in order to form one ultimate Mandalorian culture and rebuild Mandalore. I think that'd be a cool way of doing it. And at the same time, going off of like with Bo-Katan, I feel like she is one of the least qualified now to lead. The reason being, going off of how she was in Clone Wars. Yeah. First, you know, I'm going to go down the whole line from there all the way to where we are now in Mando. Yep. In there, she was too arrogant to lead. She was too hot-headed. She didn't know what she was doing, and she understood that, and she accepted that. Okay, that's one tick mark for good leader. You know, you understand that you're not ready yet. That's a good mark. Rebels, understandably, she still gets another good mark because she gets every single clan nominates her as the leader, and she accepts it from that point. To me, that's a good thing. If you have every single clan backing you, that's good. That's a good thing. You've been humbled from your past from Darth Maul. You have the support of every Mandalorian clan. Okay, good. And then in the time between that to Mando, she lost it to Moff Gideon. Which we still don't know how. We don't know what happened. I really want that to be explained. But the thing was, the reason why I don't think that she's qualified anymore, she's angry. She's angry and she wants revenge. She's not doing it for her people. She's doing it for herself. I can see that. Yeah. And because of that alone, she is no longer qualified. Because if she was doing it for her people, because she keeps saying, I'm doing this for the people, I'm doing this for the people. No, you're not. If you're doing it for the people, then why are you going out of your way? Like, you are literally saying, I want to cause him pain. I want to do this. I want to do this. You're only speaking for yourself. You're not speaking for the people. I can see that. And you bring up such an interesting point with that. I guess I haven't really looked at it from that lens because you know, I think she's an interesting character that's definitely had a lot of development and a lot of redemption, which is so cool. But at the same time, in that token, when we look at where she's at currently, you know, I think that's what she's like Mandalorian. It's like, even though her heart has changed for the better, it's her reasoning for wanting to go forward and becoming the Mandalore. There seems to be some altered or twisted motives to where it's like, hey, best example I can give is like if you watch Breaking Bad, you know, the main character, you know, like at the end,
his wife is like, "Don't you dare say you did this for us and our family." He's like, "No, I didn't do it for you. It was all about me." You know, he even admits his own selfishness.
Yeah.
And I think there's that kind of moment with Bo-Katan where it's like, hey, it's not really. It doesn't seem as if it's for the people or Mandalorians. This seems to be a personal vendetta. And you bring up another good thing with Dan, where it's like, I wonder if she will notice at certain points, like, holy shit, this guy, he's actually really qualified and he doesn't even know it. He's so oblivious, but he's perfect.
Yeah, it's because he's so humble about it.
Right. Yeah.
Let's say, like, even in the first season of Mandalorian, like with his interaction with IG-11, like whenever IG-11 was saying, we must understand, we will split the bounty, but I take all the credit for this capture. He said, whatever, I don't care, I just want to live. You know, like he wasn't trying to argue about it. He wasn't doing anything. He was keeping his head on the ultimate goal, on keeping them both alive. He was doing it for the overall picture, not for a personal gain. You know, like he was there for a personal gain, but he chose in that moment for an overall, you know, he even in a moment like that, before he even knew Grogu was there, he was trying to form an alliance with another bounty hunter for an ultimate good. And then after finding Grogu, he then, you know, granted, he then dismisses that only just so that way he can then try to make an ultimate good for himself and for another one's well-being, to make it ultimately better for everyone in the long run.
Yeah, no, he's a great character, man, and I think there's so much that we're going to be able to explore with season 3, because it's like where season 2 left off, it could go so many ways. But with that, guys, I think that brings us to the end for today's stream. I will be live later on TikTok, and I will be posting later today. I've not posted for TikTok at all. I know my TikTok people are like, this is strange. DadaLorian's not on my FYP. What's going on? Don't worry, I will be there later. I was looking at my analytics. It looks like 7 o'clock p.m. seems to be when most of my users on TikTok are active. So I was like, you know what? Why the hell not? I woke up late as shit today. I was tired, so I was like, you know what? This is a perfect time to try something new. So I will be posting later today, and then I will go live again later today on TikTok. Okay, the fan art will be on my TikTok soon. Yeah, tag me in it so I don't forget. Michael, my guy, it is always a pleasure having you on. Thank you. Seriously, man, we got over 12 video ideas ready to go. And it really helps because I wanted to try to dive more into lore type of conversational things. My format for TikTok is great because I love where it's all about you guys. You know what I mean? Like, I like that. But in addition, you know, I like to add other things where it's like, hey, he actually talks about lore and teaches you things about Star Wars. You know, I think that's always fun to add into. Yeah. So I think on some of these streams, you and I can connect and be like, all right, so Michael's going to be my Old Republic guy who's going to teach me everything, and it's going to be glorious. So thank you so much for coming on, man. I sincerely appreciate it. Guys, I got to get going, but I will see you later. Come hang out with me around 7 p.m. On TikTok. I'll be live later tonight, so we can all come and hang out and chill, and it's going to be great. So much love.
May I ask you one quick question?
Yeah. I
hung this up yesterday just so you can see it.
So cool. I love it, man. I love it.
That's the movie poster.
Badass. It's a great movie.
It's the movie poster from the theater.
Yeah, man. I absolutely love it, man. You did good, and you did well, man. Good
I
job.
also have a Jurassic World one on the side. Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, to be specific.
You're speaking my language, man. Come on, man. You're speaking my language. I love that stuff. Well, guys, I got to get going, but much love, and I will see you all at 7 p.m. Michael, I will see you soon, my friend. Take care.
Take care.
Bye, guys.
I look forward to tomorrow.